I'm Fox 26 meteorologist Ramisha Shea. Thanks for joining me here. Of course, if you're here, you know what's going to happen. We get our tropical update every afternoon right around this time as we go through hurricane season. So you'll be getting these updates daily all the way through the end of November. We are now in that most active period, at least historically and typically, of our hurricane season. So let me walk you through it and let you know what you can expect, what's happening. Of course, we did have some excitement across the state of Texas yesterday with a tropical storm making landfall late yesterday morning right around Padre Island. Of course, that name was Harold. It made landfall around Padre Island around 10 a.m. as a 50-mile-per-hour tropical storm rolled across southern Texas, bringing several inches of rain to parts of Corpus Christi, and last night, this morning, bringing several inches of rain over towards Del Rio and Laredo as well. Now it's getting close to El Paso, and it's basically weakening as it continues to move over land. It's lost that warm Gulf water to help it strengthen and hold together. So it's falling apart, it's breaking down, and we're calling it the remnants of Harold because it's no longer considered a tropical cyclone. What's left of Harold is getting close to El Paso as it still tracks to the north and west. So that's really where the best shot for any heavy rainfall from this would be. But overall, we're expecting it to basically completely fall apart over the next 12 to 24 hours, but it is going to continue rolling over the El Paso area, northern portions of Mexico, and maybe into southern portions of New Mexico. So we're not expecting it to bring any strong wind, but it could still produce a few more inches of rainfall as we go into the next 12 to 24 hours. But overall, it's coming to an end, so we don't have to worry about any impacts from Harold anymore for Southeast Texas. As we head out into the Atlantic, we're still tracking another tropical storm that is still going strong and hanging tough. This is Franklin, and it is going to be right now moving right over Hispaniola, bringing some heavy rain to Haiti and the Dominican Republic. It is still in the east central Caribbean, but it is rolling over the Dominican Republic and Haiti. So once it moves north, it will reemerge into the Atlantic, and then it's going to have the potential to bring several inches of rain to the Turks and Caicos Islands over the next day or so. So at this point, Tropical Storm Franklin with maximum sustained winds of 40 miles per hour, movement to the north-northeast at 13 miles per hour, and pressure right around 1,004 millibars. So that north movement will take it away from Haiti and the Dominican Republic, where tropical storm warnings are still in place right now. It's going to take it over the Turks and Caicos. It's going to kind of drift to the northeast and then make more of a northerly jog as we go into the weekend and early next week. But notice that it does strengthen. Category 1 hurricane likely by the weekend, and then Category 2 hurricane as we go into early next week. So it is going to get close to Bermuda as we go into early next week. So we'll have to see if Bermuda will get any impacts from that. But Franklin, by early next week, appears to be fairly strong. So we'll have to monitor that closely, but it does not appear it's going to head anywhere close to the Gulf of Mexico or the east coast of the U.S., but it could be a problem for Bermuda by Monday or Tuesday of next week. Also, in the Atlantic, we're monitoring 2 tropical waves. We've got one that used to be Tropical Storm Emily, now being called the remnants of Emily. It kind of fell apart, but now our models are indicating that it could strengthen back into a tropical depression or tropical storm, especially over the next 7 days. There's a medium shot for development over the next 48 hours as it drifts north, but a high chance that it redevelops possibly into a tropical storm by the next 7 days. So we'll have to watch and wait and see what the remnants of Emily will do, but it does not appear that they will head towards the U.S. as the system is drifting north, and eventually it's going to push into cooler waters and weaken, but before that it could turn into a tropical cyclone once again. Also, there's Invest 92L in the eastern Atlantic, just a low 10% chance for development over the next 2 days, but a 30% shot that it could develop into a tropical depression or tropical storm over the next 7 days. Now this one is not going north. It is moving more towards the west-northwest. So that would take it into the central Atlantic, and there's a chance it could get closer to the east coast of the U.S. So we'll have to monitor that over the next several days, but we've still got plenty of time to watch it because it would take a while before it would get anywhere close to the U.S. All right, let's jog over to the Eastern Pacific, where it's been pretty active so far this season. We've had multiple tropical storms and hurricanes. Right now, no named systems, but we have one system with a high shot for development right off of the southern Mexican coast. A 40 to 80% chance for development over the next 2 to 8 days as this one kind of hugs and rides right along that southern Mexican coast. It's going to push just south of Acapulco, maybe a tropical depression or tropical storm developing there. A high chance at this point, and a lower shot for this system farther out into the Pacific to develop over the next several days. 20% chance through the next week. So we do have several systems that we will have to monitor. Back over to the Atlantic basin though, we've already gone through several names already. Arlene, Brett, Cindy, Don, Emily, Franklin, Gert, and Harold. The next name on the list would be Adalia, then we have Jose, Katia, Lee, Margot, and Nigel. And then after that, we have another row of names in case they are needed, just in case things blow up and get super active this season. Hopefully, we don't get through many more of those names, but the official forecast from NOAA and also from the CSU forecasters are still calling for an above average season. In fact, this was that latest update right around August 10th from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, showing a 60% shot for an above normal hurricane season. They were predicting 14 to 21 named storms, including the ones we've already had, of course, 6 to 11 hurricanes and 2 to 5 major hurricanes. So we could still have a very active remainder of our hurricane season, and we haven't even gotten to the peak just yet. That peak, of course, right around September 10th. We've still got a few more days to go in August. Once we get through August though, September, typically a very active month in hurricane season. So we're going to have to monitor things closely. You can see that peak right there, right around that second week of September. And even the first 2 weeks of October, there's still a decent shot that we could get something heading close to us. That chance falls off pretty drastically after mid-October, at least for Southeast Texas. But of course, we will be monitoring it day by day all the way through the end of hurricane season, and even after, because every now and then you have a few systems develop outside of the regular hurricane season. So you can count on us to keep you updated. We'll be tracking it closely. We'll keep you informed. But right now, nothing else heading towards Southeast Texas anytime soon, at least over the next week. So good news there. But before I go, always, I remind you that to make sure to download our Fox 26 weather app to get all of your tropical weather updates, your hurricane watches and warnings, tropical storm watches and warnings. Of course, you were able to get all of that information on Harold yesterday, and even now you can keep track of what Harold is doing, or at least what's left of it. You can also get all of your local weather, our radar, our weather updates. Tons of interesting and informative videos and updates on there for you to find. So make sure to head to the App Store if you haven't already and grab our Fox 26 weather app. So fortunately, nothing crazy heading towards us now. Just try to get through the heat the best you can, but nothing from the tropics impacting us, at least for the next week. I'm Fox 26 meteorologist Ramisha Shade. Have a great rest of your Wednesday.